Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today you are in for a very chaotic video because it is currently Tuesday and in 2 days I am going to be putting my products into a handmade store. I've been working on a lot of different items behind the scenes, but I still don't have all the items that I want to bring completely finished. The first set of items that I've been working on are some crochet plushies, so I'll just go through one by one and show you all of them, and I'm probably not going to make any more than what I have here just because I need to start focusing on other things. So this is probably going to be it. And also just a quick disclaimer, none of these items are made with my own pattern, so I will link all the patterns that I use below. The first one is this little bunny dressed up as a frog, this strawberry bunny, blueberry bunny, two little frogs, a turtle, a ghost for the holiday season, this strawberry cow, and probably my favorite plushie is this big blue whale. So that's all I've made for the crochet items, but I now need to start focusing on putting together some embroidery beginner kits and also adding the final glaze onto some clay charms and packaging them up. And finally, what I'm going to be working on today is making a bunch of magnet sets. It is currently 5 p.m. and I anticipate that this will take me all night because I want to make 5 sets of 10 charms, which means that I have 50 items to sculpt. This is the most amount of items that I've ever tried to sculpt in one day, so I hope it works out, but let's go ahead and start sculpting. Since I'm trying to rush, I accidentally forgot to show you guys what a finished magnet set looks like. I've talked about these in my previous videos and then also talked about how I package them up, so I'll just show you that real quickly. And so in this set, the magnets look a little bit squished together, and that's because there's actually 11 in this one rather than 10. So moving on, I'll probably remove one of the braided breads, just because it takes me a lot of time to actually braid it, and it also takes up a lot of space in the packaging. I'm currently about halfway through sculpting all of the magnets, so I thought I'd just pause and take a minute to talk about some of the charms that I made off camera. I have them in this tiny little goose tray right here. They're not all completely done, but they're almost done. And the first bunch of them are these little tiny cat charms. So you guys might know that I do have a cat and her name is Matilda, and I really do enjoy making these tiny little loaf cat charms. And so far I've only made them in gray and black. Some of them have a little tiny X face, like this little guy, and some of them have a grumpy upside down triangle mouth, like this little guy who's also missing an eye right now, so I'll need to make that again. I'm really proud of these next ones, and these are the two little cows. And I think it's really cute that they ended up looking a little bit like Squishmallows. I didn't intend for that, but I really like it. And then the last two are definitely a work in progress, but I'm working on these two little stingrays. They still need some decoration on their backs, and they also don't have their little medal on them either. So yeah, that was a nice break, but let's get back to sculpting. I'm using polymer clay to sculpt all of these magnets, which I love because you can make really tiny details, and I can bake them in the oven at 275 for 10 minutes to get them to harden. After they cool down, you can paint them or use some oil pastels to give them some color, and then I always like to seal mine afterwards too, so that they're a little bit shiny and won't be easily damaged. And here's a shot of everything that's going to go into the oven. It is now 10:30 and I have finally finished sculpting everything, and now everything has been put into the oven for it to harden. I even remembered to finish up the decorations on the stingray's back and also make another cat eye. Even though it did give me a really cute idea that maybe the next time I make a loaf cat, I'll make a one-eyed loaf cat, just because I think it would be really cute. I don't think that I'll... Oh. That is the oven saying that it's ready. So I don't think that I have the time to finish anything else up tonight. I'm probably going to head to bed. Tomorrow I'm going to have a really long day finishing up everything else that I need to do, including the embroidery kits and packaging everything up. And I'm also going to do all of the oil pastels for the bakery items that I just made tomorrow as well, just because they're a little bit too hot right now. Hopefully I can get everything done in time. Hi everyone, today is the really long long day and I've been working all morning to do the oil pastels on all my magnets. It really took me a long time to add on all of the individual pieces of salt on every single pretzel, but at least it's finally done. And then I sprayed them with some Mod Podge. I use this matte Ultra Mod Podge. And so currently all of those are drying. But while I wait for those to dry, I figured that I would start assembling the embroidery kits. I think my goal is to make about 10 beginner kits. I'm not starting from complete scratch because one time I cut up all of my fabric, so I have a bunch of pieces of fabric, and so now I just need to transfer on the design and then put together the thread, the needles, the felt, and the actual pattern that I need to print out. This item is usually my best seller online, so I'm really wondering how it does in a store. I also ended up finishing all the charms that I was working on, so now they are all glazed and ready to be packaged up. Here is what the stingray ended up looking like, and I even gave him a little bit of a belly. I also forgot that with the crochet items, I'm going to need to add some sort of tag so that I can actually put the price of each item on it. It seems silly, but I'm going to need to design something for the tags so that I can add on my logo and also all of my social media handles. That way, if they purchase something from me, they'll be able to find me. But yeah, now let's start making those 10 beginner embroidery kits. My goal is that this will take me a max of 2 hours. Okay, so I've been working on the kits for about an hour now, and I'm nowhere close to being done. That's mostly because I've had a lot of printing to do, and I forgot how time-consuming printing really is. There's also a problem because my original pattern is formatted to fit on a regular sheet of paper, but I decided that I would rather have it be a square size so that it better fits inside the packaging. The pattern includes all the information that it takes to begin embroidery, and then also how to do each individual stitch. Since this kit is a 25 beginner stitches kit, there are a lot of stitches that need to be explained, and so I think that having a written out guide really helps with learning each individual type of stitch. I'm not entirely done printing out the pattern, but I can show you what the first page will look like. This is the first page. It basically goes through how to begin embroidering, and so I still need to print out the pages that teach you how to do each of the stitches, and then there's also a color guide so that you know exactly what colors I use for each stitch. That way you can replicate exactly what I made for the example one. So yeah, that in and of itself is a lot to print, but that's not the only thing that I need to print to make these kits. I also need to print out the actual pattern. I print this on transfer paper, which I can then iron on onto the fabric. The last thing that I printed was not for the kits, but it was actually for the clay charms and magnets that I've been making, and that is the packaging for the charms and the magnets. So on the front is how each of the charms and magnets will be displayed, and then on the back is the information about each item and also the links to my social media. So that also needs to be cut out, and then will act as the background for all the different charms and magnets that I make. But yeah, I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update because this has been taking up a lot of my time. I really love the little packets that I made to go in the store. I feel like it does a good job protecting them and also allows people to appreciate every single detail for the charm. My only problem is that for people to see the charms, they're going to need to go digging in this tiny bin, and I'm not sure if that's the best way to get people's attention. They won't be able to see all of the different designs, so if you have any suggestions for how I could display these better, that would be appreciated. I've been working on these kits for so many hours now, and items are still printing. You can probably hear my printer going right now. It's not only the printing, it's the fact that I also have to cut each thing out as a square, and I don't have one of those really cool, quick cutters or anything like that. I just have to use my scissors. So these have been getting a workout today. I have most everything set up now, and I'm just waiting on the last 5 pages to print, but I thought that I would start attaching the magnets to the bakery items that I was working on this morning so that they dry in time for me to be able to package them. background keeps getting messier and messier every single time I go to film an update, which kind of reflects how my state of mind is as I continue working throughout the entire day. It's about 9 p.m. now and I've been working on this all day long, but everything is finally printed and now it's time for the really satisfying part, and that is putting everything together. So even though the lighting isn't very good anymore, I'm still going to film and show you how I plan on packaging all of the different kits. I made one sample kit so that I know how it's going to look at the end of the day, so I can show you what that looks like. Here it is. I have a QR code that takes you directly to the tutorial video, just in case someone in store wants to see how exactly the tutorial video works. And not only are the embroidery kits ready to be packaged up, but the magnets are also ready to be packaged up, and I actually have the magnets hanging on my fridge right now just to test them out and make sure that they work exactly how I want them to, and they look great. But that's all I have to say. I still have not made the crochet tags that I'm hoping to make, so hopefully I will still have the motivation after I package everything up to design and print out some tags to go on my crochet plushies. As I was packaging these up, I noticed just how much paper goes into one of these kits, and I really wanted to try and reduce that the next time that I make them. Not only does it take a long time for everything to print, and printing in color can be expensive, but it's also bad for the environment. That's why after I filmed this video, I managed to reduce the amount of pages from 7 to 3. It still has the same amount of information, but it's just condensed into fewer pages. Each kit also gets cotton fabric with the design on it, a bamboo embroidery hoop, 6 full skeins of thread, a piece of felt to finish the back, 2 needles, and a thank you card that's handwritten by me. Once I finished, I laid out all of the items that I was bringing the next day while I packaged up the bakery magnets. I was really tired by this point, but it was so worth it. So overall, a pretty productive few days. I can't remember if I've been doing this for 3 days or 2 days. I feel like it's only 2. So that's pretty crazy. I'm getting really excited to set everything up in the store tomorrow, but I know that it won't be everything that I want to bring. So I'm hesitant to film tomorrow because I don't want to show you guys the entire setup until I feel confident in it. So definitely, even after today, I will still have some more work to do to complete everything that I'm hoping to for the store. And also once I go into the store, maybe I'll be able to see what is missing, what I need more of, what I need less of. So it'll be good for me to go in and then hopefully go right back after I see what I need. And anything that you see in this video that I made will be available on my online shop by the time that I post this video. So if you want, you can go check out the shop link in the description or in my profile. I also managed to film a few short form videos for Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So if you want to go check out what those look like, you can go see those as well. And thank you for your support while I am still getting used to my YouTube journey. I feel like as though I'm getting better at talking to the camera, but I'm not getting any better at actually editing my videos. I currently have 2 videos that I still need to edit. It's a lot easier for me to set up and film, which is the part that I used to be nervous about, but now it's harder for me to go back and edit and watch it. So yeah, thank you for watching this video again, and I hope to see you in the next one where we'll be making more inventory, I'm pretty sure. Goodbye.